Alright. Good evening, everyone. We are back. Back for yet another race. And it's not some ordinary race. No, it is the first race of the new season. We are now at season number 8. And thus are in for a great time because, well, yeah, we are with a new season. What more can I say? Just finishing up the final settings. So that I can actually get some stuff sorted. Yeah. Yada yada. Do it like that. Get the link shared. And last but not least, I need to get this image. And put it on here. There we go. Alrighty, everyone, welcome back to yet another great championship. Yes, we are now at round one, I should say. Round one out of the usual 8. Let's take you quickly through the racing schedule. I will also post it for you lot in the live stream chat if you haven't seen it already. There we go. Then we're gonna pin that message. So, yeah, we are starting in round number 1, as the usual format is, with the Nürburgring, the GP layout, not the Nordschleife, not the Touristfahren, not the whole 24-hour circuit, no, just the GP layout. Then we are heading over to Italy, to the lovely circuit Misano. After which we go on through to Austria for the Red Bull Ring. Then we go outside of Europe to Kailami, to South Africa, and that race will be a reverse grid from the championship order after the first 3 races. Then we have round 5 at Alton Park, with round 6 being at Watkins Glen. Then round 7 at Zolder, finishing off in Belgium as well with round 8 with the Spa, and it is a 100-minute race. So that is the schedule for this 8th season. And we already got someone saying Tony for the championship. Well, will he be able to do that? You know, last season, which was not that long ago, they did not manage to claim that championship victory. So maybe now this time they will, who knows. There has been a bit of a change in the lineups for this season, as some drivers are new, some drivers are away. As we head on to the first qualifying session of this season, let's ride with Ragnix, who is second out of the pit lane, just behind Titswell and Scannon, already pushing for that opening lap. Is Turney now silver or gold? Let me have a quick look. Turney. Yada yada yada. Turney is silver. Still silver. Car number 139. They have gone with the AMR V8 Advantage. Let's see if we can spot them out here on track. There we go. Still in the pit lane. As they are just waiting for a gap to form, and I believe they will head out of pits right now. There we go. Right on cue. Just making some final touches to the stream. As we already got the first cars going out for push lap. You can see there's already such a queue of cars forming in the final corner. It is a very busy track today. As there you can see the whole mayhem of cars. I don't think the cars that are currently on a quick lap will be disturbed in any way, as Morrow heads off for their first flying lap. And interestingly, I didn't notice it before, but they have gone for a different car choice. They have gone with the Lamborghini, as we like to call it. DRSJ welcome to chat. Are most drivers on wheel or are there some controller users? I am fairly certain that the majority of drivers are using wheels, although I do know of some people who are on a controller, but that really doesn't seem to impact their speed all that much. So yeah, I think maybe 20% of the grid is using a controller, if I may make that estimation. First lap in the books from Titswell with a 1:55, as Scanlon posts a 1:56.9. And Glyn now starting their first lap. Oh no, finishing their first lap, I am sorry, with a 1:56.8. So who do we need to look out for? One of which is Freivogel. Last season was in the reserve spot, did 4 rounds if I am correct, and was very impressive, I got to say. Was well and truly in the top 10, and thus has also been put in the gold category, gold class. You can see that on the left hand side of your picture in the bottom side. You have there the telemetry data of the relative car positions, and the car number 227 in this case is has a white background. That means it is a gold class driver. If you see one like this, where it is red, that means that they are a bronze class driver. And of course, last but not least, we also have the grey silverish background with warrior here, and that means they are in silver class. So that just shows you the difference in classes as well is usually or almost always determined by the raw speed and or previous championship results. And with that there's also a championship within the class itself, just to spice things up a little bit aside from the overall championship. I believe the scoring system has been altered a little bit, although not that much. Still a difference in points between the overall and the class championship, so that the overall championship will sometimes make a different result than the class championships, especially for the gold top category. So let's see. Falcinelli. I hope I'm pronouncing everything alright. If not, please say it to me and I will try to clear it up as soon as possible. So let's ride on board for a lap around this famous German circuit. Braking just at the 100 board on the left, getting it stopped with a very tight apex, then swinging it through the Mercedes arena with turn 2 going on for such a long time. Don't get too squirrely on the exit curb. As then we have turn 3, keep it tight to make a good run through turn 4, power it out, and that is the Mercedes stadium done. Then we swing it into turn 5 with turn 6 next on the right hand. Very lovely sequence of corners, I find it. Then we have the run down the hill and off sector number 1 and into the hairpin. Lovely keep it as wide as possible on the exit, maximize the exit speed, and then we go into the Schumacher S's, and that was a little bit too wide for Falcielli, who immediately puts it into the wall, shamefully, because now we didn't get to see the next half of the lap. Maybe we will see that with Paul, who is in the Nissan GTR. Not very often the Nissan gets picked. Oh, but they go a little bit deep into the hairpin. So again, not really a good showing. Now there we have Ragnick's coming out of the Schumacher S's, still with a valid lap time. Then we go into the left-hander and then the right-hander. Keeping it within track limits, very well done. This corner a little bit awkward on the apex. Gets it nice, little bit wide on the exit. Then we fly through the right-hander, keeping it flat. And then we have the dreadful chicane. Luckily it is a little bit more forgiving than the other design or the other layouts, as we round the final corner to complete a lap of the circuit, and it gets them a 1:56.3, not an improvement of their current best lap time. As we take a quick look, it is good in the Mustang, who is currently on provisional pole position with a 1:54.0, just barely over the 1:54 threshold. Would be lovely to see a 1:53 in there. We still got 9.5 minutes remaining, so plenty of time to set another lap. Then we have Taylor, who is now currently sitting in the pit lane, ready to roll out again. There he goes. In the Porsche. Taylor is, I believe, a new entrant. I really hope that I'm correct with that. Gotta say, a lovely paint job. Does look a lot like the Johnny Player special liveries we saw in the 80s. Then we have Hockhausen on home turf in the Mustang. Who is just giving way to a couple of guys on a lap. Then we have Cabras, who stuck with the Porsche. And then we have Martinelli. Interestingly, a silver driver currently in P5. Not too shabby. With Morrow in the Lamborghini in P6. With BX Royal in P7. Fryvogel P8. Tidswell P9 and Lojak, another silver class driver, in P10. Ragnick's doesn't really seem to be all that confident as of right now. 1.8 seconds off pole position and another slide out of the Mercedes arena. They're currently P18 overall and last in class. They are surely looking for an improvement to be able to contend with the other silver class drivers. Ragnis did reset to the pit lane. going out for another lap, and that should leave them with 3 laps of pushing after they've completed their out lap. Oh, and I gotta say, the Schumacher's are very lovely, but Fitzpatrick thinks otherwise and just goes straight off in the gravel. So much for showing off the circuit. Got nothing to show if people keep messing it up. It's like a commentator's curse already, and we haven't even started with the race. This is going to be a lot of fun. Oh, and there you saw the Ferrari just bouncing over the curbs. You really want to maximize the apexes on the chicane. But in doing so, you may also risk losing your balance and or your grip. Seemingly a lot of Mustangs currently on the grid, but it's nice to see some other cars. For instance, the Aston Martins, BMW. We also saw a couple of them last time round. Some of the Porsches, and of course the GTR, the Soul GTR. Couple of McLarens, the Mercedes as well, not from Van Eyck but from O'Leary this time round. And then 2 Lamborghinis and 2 Ferraris. Less than 5 minutes on the clock. Will there be an improvement in these dying seconds? Well, say dying seconds, it's still over 2 laps worth of time. So I have gotten a spreadsheet of all the drivers. Jordanov in the pit lane as well as a couple of other guys. Would also be interesting if we were able to see the inter brand championship. Oh, as Fitzpatrick goes in very deep again. They will have just enough time to, or just enough, they will have enough time to make it for another push lap. As they will head on that final push lap right now. I do love the pink McLaren. It's a nice sight to see. There we go. Alright. So I've made myself a little spreadsheet, and that makes it so that I can very easily search through the stuff. So let's say we just saw quickly car 25 and 57. That would be that it was BPX Royal, or BX Royal, sorry, and Loyak who were stuck in the or stuck in the gravel, gone back into the pits. And that is qualifying over. Let's go on board with O'Leary. Last lap, and they are 1.2 seconds up. That seems like it's an awful lot of seconds that they are green. I don't think the Delta is being honest with us. Still, it looked like they were 1.2 seconds up. Going through the final chicane now. Keeping it nice and tidy in the final corner. Powering it out. And will it be an improvement? It is an improvement. And I believe it puts them up by 1 position. So in the end it was worth it. But it was Hochhausen who has claimed provisional pole position, or is it time already to say that they claimed pole position? I think it is time to say that they did not claim pole position. It was Gr3, the final last lap, puts them on pole position. And with what a lap as well, being 3/10 clear of the rest of the pack. But it's a very, very close qualifying. Just top 14 nearly, all within 1 second. And would have even been top 16 if it wasn't for the final improvement from Gr3. Very well done. So 2 minutes before we start with the information app, if you want anything to get a snack or a drink, I should actually get myself a drink. Do that right now. Now is the time, and now you won't miss anything except for me waffling around, trying to amuse you lot before we head out on track. One minute remaining. DRSJ, here we go again. Mustangs at Nürburgring winning. Flashbacks to NLS. Well, you say that, but in the top 10 there are 4 Mustangs, 3 of which are in the top 4 and then 1 in P10 driven by Paris. And other than that, there aren't actually that many Mustangs, I'm realizing. No, only 4 Mustangs. Alright. I was thinking there were more. I think we got 3 Aston Martins. Three Aston Martins, a lot of BMWs actually. Got 8 BMWs. 5 Ferraris, 4 Mustangs, 2 Lamborghinis, 6 McLarens and 1 Mercedes, 1 Nissan, and then 6 more Porsches. Of course, not all of them are currently on the grid. We do have a very stacked grid as we get underway for the first formation lap of the season. As Azoyan didn't make it in time to set a lap time, I believe, or anyway, starting from the pit lane may be a smart idea. The turn 1 is very tight. I believe if you look back at indeed the NLS, there was a bit of a scruffy opening lap there. I think the P2 or P3 Porsche binning it and nearly taking someone else out, if I remember correctly. So it will be in fact a very hairy turn number 1 of this 8th season of ALR GT3 Championship on ACC. So make your bets. Who is going to come out victorious in this race? Will it be Gertz keeping up his very strong performance, or will it be the new guy Hochhausen in the other Mustang starting from the first row, or will it be someone else? I mean, Wederson has also been quick last season. Lojek, new guy, currently P1 in the silver class. As we are entering the final portion of the lap. And of course, that final section, meaning that everyone will bunch up. Gertz will have the right hand side, as Scanlon has returned to the pit lane as well. Interestingly, don't know what's going on there, but maybe we will get an answer soon enough. And I believe the server has died, and there is your answer. I hope that it is just me. Yeah, it's not just me. Luckily and unfortunately. We are having some minor technical difficulties. Please bear with as we are trying to... it's not actually G Portal this time. Surprisingly it was a mistake with the server itself or how it was set up. So it let's see if the server is back on. Not quite. They are going to reset the server right now. We'll take the grid based off qualifying as should. And then we're good to go. Let's see. Oh yeah, I do have some snacks lying around. That's right. So, anything you guys want to chat about? Just give me a topic and I will ramble about it. Because in the meantime, there's not really that much for us to do here. I mean, I can talk about myself a little bit for the guys that don't know me yet. I have commentated last season as well. Not the first first race, but the rest of the season I did commentate, and yeah, I was thinking, why shall I not do another season? And thus, from one thing came another, and now I'm sitting here with you guys to talk about the race that is hopefully going to get underway in just a moment's time. All right. Let me quickly see. Turney, you can get in the bin. Trying to be funny, saying that, oh yeah, you should talk about something that might have happened last week. The server seems to be back up again, so that is all well and nice. That's the wrong password. I am very sorry. This should be the correct one, and there we go.
Green light, go, go, go.
It says go, 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 but we are not actually going, are we? "30 seconds left. I believe we nearly got everyone in. I think we're missing out on 2 people. They still got 20 seconds to join. Still one last guy makes it in. And we are up with the grid. And we are with 30. I believe we might have missed out on one driver. But so be it. Again, another 2.5 minute wait for you lot to enjoy. It is indeed a very good race, I will give you that. The excitement and the anticipation has been so high. We cannot wait to get underway. We will try to make it the best we can. So it is Gert from Hockhausen, from Wedneston, Lojek, then Martinelli and Falcinelli in 5th and 6th place. Then we have Taylor, Morrow, Cabras and Paris making up the top 10. Then this Vrijvogel, Fitterer, Titswell, PX Royal, Paul, Scanlon, Popov, Klin, Asen and Omoda making up the top 20 with Ragnix, Turney, Warrior, Callion, Caraballo, Bayliss, Fitzpatrick, Black, Asoyan, Jordanov and O'Leary making up the remainder of the grid.
Seconds.
30 seconds, that means that we go on to the grid and we will await for the green flag to be shown to start off the formation lap. And there we go. So hopefully we will make it out with the ACN not pressing drive, so they will start from the pit lane. So a little bit about this circuit as well. I already said something about it. It is the Nürburgring GP Strecke, as it is officially named. We know it as a GP circuit. It has a length of 5.148 kilometers in length, or 3.199 miles. Got 15 turns going clockwise, and it has quite a lot of elevation change. You can see that right here, the lowest point of the circuit being the hairpin. All the way around the lap to finish off this formation lap. So the final chicane awaits. As the cars line up side by side. Look at how crowded it is. We have 30 cars currently on track. As we are rounding the final corner to finally kick off season 8. As we will await the green light, and it's go, go, go. 2 cars already getting a drive-through penalty as we make our way to the first corner. Guts on the inside line, and so far so good. Hockhausen is challenging around the outside, but still keeps it tight, Oh, a bit of contact between the 2 Mustangs out in front. The third one from Lojack has moved up a position, overtaking Weatherston already. As they funnel all out through the Mercedes arena, as we have Popov spinning in the Mercedes arena, at least showing up briefly as a yellow flag. Doesn't seem like they have lost out on too much, as Titswell is one of the drivers with a drive-through penalty, as well as Freivogel, who has also received a drive-through penalty for being out of position at the start of the race. There we have Popov dropping down a couple of positions. As the top 2 seemingly remain the same, as there was a half spin by Asen, I believe. As I would like to get back to the front. There we go. Gertz finding time out of the final corner to extend the gap to a full second to second placed car of Hockhausen. Then there's Lojek, then Weatherston, then Moro and Falcinelli, making up top 6 as it stands. We already have some guys serving the drive-through, or some guys, both guys, both Titswell and Freivogel serving the drive-through already. Interestingly, Asen is also in the pit lane. Drive-through has been cleared and another drive-through has been cleared, and they are back underway again. As the opening lap seemed to be very clean. Already a bit of a gap forming. Callion with a 2-second gap already to P13 Scanlon. As we look back from the Porsche, creating a little bit of a gap to Bayliss and Regnix. Regnix seemingly, or I must assume, wanting to go on the attack, trying to claim as many positions as possible after starting from a bit lower down. DRSJ, what was that debris coming off the Mustang? No, on the opening lap, Gertz hit a cone on the entrance to turn number 5, and that was the UFO thingy that you saw as Bayliss cuts the chicane, and that will move up Regnix 1 spot. Bayliss making it back on the circuit again, so no harm done there, as there is harm done there. That was Bayliss facing the wrong direction, waiting for everyone to go past, and carrying a bit of front end damage. We will take a look at what happened in just a moment's time. They rejoined the circuit safely. As Weatherston needs to defend from Moro behind. I haven't actually looked at all the new car choices. Of course, with such a stacked grid, it's difficult to keep track of who was where last season, but I will try to do my best. I know for sure that Moro was in a Porsche, because Moro and Cabras were both very similar paced, and both in the Porsche last season. And this time it is Moro who made a switch to a new manufacturer. Glyn in front of Black, going off, and again going off very wide, and Turney seemingly following them, as I am trying to find them. Where are they? Oh, I so despise this system with ACC. I actually went past them, didn't I? As we have a battle for 15th place between Popov and Caraballo. Caraballo trying to make a move. Maybe into turn number 1, a bit of slipstream in effect. As Popov goes in quite deep, leaves them vulnerable, possibly for a cutback, not quite close enough for that. Caraballo still keeps on them, trying to improve their position. Titswell now on the attack on Bayliss, and getting past as well after serving the drive-through, being on the back foot. So any position they can gain is one more. as currently they are 9 seconds behind Warrior, as there was a yellow flag from Omoda in the Mercedes arena, as we also have Paul in the pits already. So Asen and Paul both completing their mandatory pit stop. There is Paul in the GTR, and they should get going right about now. Or was there damage? It seems like there was a little bit of damage on the rear side of the vehicle. Not sure if that would have been enough to make them pit. Turney now on the attack on Black. Black leaves ample room. Turney hesitated, and that will also invite BX Royal into the mix. BX Royal trying to go up the inside. Oh, and there is contact. There is big contact between Turney and BX Royal, and it ends up with Turney going off into the gravel and rejoining the circuit now, but losing out on a handful of positions that might get looked at by the stewards. As Lojack has also gone past Hockhausen now for second place. So the silver class driver doing very well in the first race of the season. This will massively help their championship already. They say, yeah, it isn't won on the first race or whatever. If you start off strong, you're more likely to do well in the end. Leave some room for errors. But Gertz is currently flying. Currently 2.8 seconds away from second place. It's to get back to your message, DRJ. Indeed. Here we go again. Mustangs at Nürburgring. You weren't wrong. It's currently top 3 for them, and they look really strong. The other Mustang of Paris is currently being attacked by none other than Carlos in the Porsche. Mustang being very good at handling the curbs, so the chicane is no issue for them. The Porsche meanwhile is somewhat better through the opening sector. And Fitterer being a second quicker than the pair of them on the last lap, so they will soon join the fight for P9. Still the battle for P2 is still going strong, with a lot of cars following each other closely. P2 up to P5 within 2 seconds of one another. Gertz also currently has the fastest lap of the race with a 1:54.6, just 1 second shy of their qualifying lap that put them on pole position. And this is on higher fuel loads as well, with more to be lost. That shows how quick they are. Callion now up against Regnix. Regnix in the McLaren, trying to move their way up. Like I said earlier, this time it is the Porsche that is just ahead. And they are already coming up to a lap car of Paul, who already completed the mandatory pit stop. Because remember, there is a mandatory pit stop in this race. Doesn't matter when you do it, just needs to be a refuel only, so you could refuel 1 liter, or you could refuel 120 liters, however much you want. Anyway, you don't need to change tires. Some circuits you might want to. On other circuits you might not necessarily need to. As we ride on board with Taylor. Currently only a couple of car lengths back from Facinelli. I'm really hoping that I'm pronouncing that correctly, by the way. If not, let me know and I will do my best to pronounce it better. I must assume it is Italian. So I try to also put a little bit of the accent with it. I probably botched that. Speaking of botching things up, that was not the greatest run through the Schumacher S's. Taylor having a little look up the inside, but not being able to force an overspeed and thus claim the position. A lot of dust being kicked up through the chicane. It just shows you how much people are cutting it. And they're all in the 55s, which is very decent, I should say. Oh, and Caraballo misses the chicane. Don't want to do that too often. You will get pinged for it by the stewards, and with 4 strikes you're looking at a trip through the pit lane as a reward for your efforts. Of course, that's sarcastic. You will get a drive-through, which is not something that you want. Was switching away, but that is indeed a move for P16 BX Royal, going up the inside of the McLaren and improving the position up to P16. Now we have O'Leary trying to make a move, but having to lift off as they were boxed in between Azoyan and Freivogel. Azoyan going a little bit wide now, will leave the door open into turn number 4. Cuts across, does not want any space to be left out of, that O'Leary might be able to jump in and make a move. Morrow Weatherston still going at it, as well as Hockhausen actually, who has fallen away quite a lot from the top 2 and is now pulling it into the pit lane. Interesting strategy call, I must say. Is this the attempt of an undercut? It will be interesting, possibly to remove any sort of time loss when battling. As they will only have a quick refuel, or maybe they will also change the tires. You don't need to, but it is, the option is there. And I think right now we have calmed down a little bit, so let's take a look back at what happened with Bayliss on the second lap. It was. This is not Bayliss. Where is Bayliss? That's also not Bayliss. We're looking for a yellow BMW. That's Bayliss. Indeed it was. Let's see, what lap did this happen? It was this lap, so... Was it? No, it was the previous lap. Yeah, so there we go. So let's see what happens here then. As we ride with the helicopter, going through the chicane, cutting the chicane slightly, going off into this grass, then rejoining back. That's alright. And then is there touch? Yes, there is a touch from Scanlon. And another touch by the Nissan, and that was probably why they were in the pit lane to repair the damage. Now the helicopter is freaking out because cars are flying past. And that is what happened to Bayless there. So a very small touch, making an incident a lot worse with the GTR off. Now I need to look at my spreadsheet. The GTR off pole, hitting the back. I don't think there was anything that Paul could have done there to really avoid that. Is there a chance here for Warrior to make a move on Fitzpatrick? Look at the speed difference coming out of the final corner. Warrior with the overspeed, with the inside line. Can they break in time to make it to the apex? They can. They force Fitzpatrick a little bit out wide, which is allowed. It's fair racing. And that is an improvement of position for Warrior, making it up to P18 now. And that's job well done. Barris has moved quite a bit away from Falcinelli. So now Falcinelli can focus on the car ahead, which is Martinelli in the Ferrari. They've swapped around with the positions. As we have someone in the pit lane. It is car number 777, which belongs to Bayless actually. You can see them on the right there in their pit box, and because they are yellow flag, I would assume that they have crashed somewhere and have been towed back to the pit lane. We will await confirmation for that. As Weatherson now being in P3 after Hockhausen went into the pit lane to serve the mandatory stop already. We have Taylor trying to make a little look up the inside into turn number 5. Trying to improve the position on Morrow. As now we also got Regnings into the pit lane to serve their mandatory pit stops. A pit stop, I would say. Only one pit stop is needed. As Bayless gets a stop and go 30 seconds for a race control for speeding in the pit lane. That will just rub salt in the wound, I would assume. So let's take a quick gander. So currently Hockhausen is exiting the Mercedes arena. As now Weatherstone needing to go defensive on Morrow. Going into turn number 1, Morrow can brake ever so slightly later with the wider line. And then Taylor also getting held up somewhat by the Lamborghini, really wanting to get a move on. As there is Regnings in the pit lane, serving their pit stops. It has been quite a while that they have been in the pit lane. Not sure if this is a very much planned pit stop. So maybe we can wow, I'm really starting to lose my speech now. Take a quick look at what happened with Bayliss second time round, because it did look like they might have had an incident. Oh, and that was speeding quite a lot in the pit lane. Oh, and I know why. On the bottom right end of your screen you can see their gear and speed. They were not in first gear, so the pit limiter didn't engage, and then you go full throttle. And then they realized, oh, I have sped. So that's a big issue for them. That's why they have been given a stop and go 30 seconds. And this also looks very nice. Yes, very nice. Great pictures you're seeing right here. We got a new type of technology. Cars can phase through the wall right now. Of course, that is sarcastic. That's just a bug in the replay system. We get back to live pictures then. And it seems like nothing much has changed with the top 5 is still Morrow, who is leading from Taylor behind, and just ahead of them is Weatherston in the BMW. Ragnix has been in the pits now for a couple of minutes already, so maybe they are having some technical issues or feeling the need to repair big damage, which I am curious to know where they might have picked that up. Yeah, no clipping in a race. It does seem like it would be fun. I believe there was a bug at one point where nothing had collision, so you could just drive through cars, but also through walls. I've heard. Personally, haven't experienced that, as we see that Morrow is starting to get very close to the back of that BMW. Is there going to be a move into the chicane? That's not really an opportunity to send it. You much rather want to get a good exit, or just peel off into the pit lane. Whatever suits you then. I'm trying to make some content here and you try to blow it all away. This time try to brake in time. I think they did just that, so they should be fine. And they are now going in for the mandatory pit stop a little bit earlier than usual. Of course, with a 1 hour race, it is usually best to pit at the halfway point. Of course, that's all with strategy at play. So, yeah. Actually, there's a second Lamborghini of Omoda. I might have missed that actually, but so here you go. Omoda is also in a Lamborghini. You're not the only one. Weatherston is also by far not the only one who is in the BMW, but by far the one who is in the best position currently right now in the race, being in P3, but just barely ahead of a couple of the guys in P4, 5 and 6. As Gertz and Lojack are just pulling away, and that white flag you see is just Azoyan going a little bit slower to let the faster guys go through, being Gertz and Lojack. Won't be long before they will reach this train as well. So right now the strategy game might come a little bit alive. For Taylor it would be a question of going for an undercut or overcut possibly. You might hear it in Formula 1 for instance, box to overtake. If you're feeling that you're getting held back by being behind someone, it might be better just going into the pit lane, getting out in some clear air, and then just going full blast. And ultimately, you might get past them just purely based on that strategy and driving in open air and not being held up behind the car in front. Ball in the GTR. I wish more people used the GTR. It's such a lovely car. They did make too many R34s, hot take, but they did make too many R34s. Oh, lovely car, but just maybe a little bit overrated. This car though isn't as used as much, so I'm very happy to see that on the grid. Hockhausen in P18, doing a little bit slower laps, a 1:59 last time round. Probably a bit of a mistake there, and that will not help their chances of retaining that podium position, as we have Warrior in the pit lane now to serve their mandatory pit stop. Remember, only fuel is needed, no need to change tires. I don't think it will be long before Hockhausen will get past Black. Will it be already a move up the inside? Yes, there will. Not a very conventional overtaking spot, but still making the move stick and making it clean as well. I know of some people who might not have been able to make up that move as cleanly as Hockhausen did. More people in the pit lane. We have got Lojack going from P2 in the pit lane, as well as Fitrer there in the BMW car 99, also coming in to serve their mandatory pit stop. It does look like Logic is in the pits for quite a while. Would you want to take new tires? I mean, you could. You don't have to. And right now, Gertz has no one to worry behind him. Weatherston, currently P2 on the circuit, is 13.7 seconds behind, which is quite a long while away. Gertz will catch up quickly to the back of Jordanov. Will Gertz go in this lap? It would be logical, seeing that right now is the halfway point of the race. We have completed 30 minutes of racing, and I think they will pop it into the pit lane. But will they get held up in the pit lane itself by Jordanov? That, oh, it looks very, very tight. I think it was just about right, but ooh, maybe something Gertz didn't account for. As there was Falcinelli going very wide and spinning. Ooh, not quite spinning, but ooh, it surely looked like they were spinning. Just held it and managed to keep going. There was a very hairy moment for the current P5 placed man. I doubt that it will stay P5 after the pit stop have been completed, but hey, you can always hope. So pit lane being busy. Got 5 cars currently in the pit lane. Quite a lot of guys already have completed their pit stop, and still some are yet to do so, including the entire top 6. Top 9 even. Goods has emerged out of the pit lane now in P10, with Logic being only 3.7 seconds behind. I think Goods did lose quite some valuable time. Let's see if Logic can catch up that difference in time in these final 27.5 minutes. Hockhausen, meanwhile, is currently sitting in P12, so only realistically they are in P3 right now on track based on who completed the pit stop, but there is quite the gap between Hockhausen and Logic being over 13.5 seconds. A car in the current top 7 could easily slip in, as there we have some of the guys going into the pit lane. That was very closely on the marks. It is Martinelli, Paris and Valcinelli, sorry. Valcinelli. Yeah, I really need to know how I'm needing to pronounce that because I'm gonna drive myself crazy. Anyway, 3 cars going into the pit lane. As Black is exiting out of the pit lane. And now will be a race of who is getting out the quickest. It will be a close one, I think. As I hear that the Mustang is already rolling, the Porsche is trying to race him to the exit, but has to concede there to the Mustang. And then Martinelli, I believe, taking the longest, going in first of the trio and ending up coming out as last. And the other two making up one position, so that will help them. But right now it is task of who is getting up the tires up the temperature the quickest, and the Porsche is already trying to look for an inside move. Not really happening there in turn 4. Paris cuts it off nicely, but still there's still time on the table, and with it some positions going into turn number 5. There is a lap car ahead of them that might cause some trouble. It might also not. As they are pulling to the side now to let the pair of them go by. Even let Martinelli go past in the background, you can see there in the rear view mirror. So no issues there in terms of back markets. It is oh so close, only 3/10 between the Ford and the Porsche. As up ahead it is Moro and Fitzpatrick. As well, Fitzpatrick also being lapped, so it is all becoming tantalizingly close on this outlap. It is oh so important to strike now when you can. As Bayliss, or Fitzpatrick I should say, sorry, peeling there off the side of the road, letting the other cars go past. As more people are in the pit lane. But out of these 3, no position changes have happened since leaving the pit lane. As Kellyan now also exiting the pit lane with the BMW of Azoyan following closely behind, albeit not for position. Aizen, Titswell and Vrijvogel being very close to one another, looking back from the Porsche. The McLaren is looking for a possible move around the outside. Will it happen? It is very close to coming within touching distance. But the BMW of Freivogel sneaks up the inside. It goes then a little bit wide into turn number 3. And it has to concede the position again to the McLaren of Titwell. This will just help Asen, who will use this time loss from the 2 cars behind to try and stretch away. Taylor right now leading this race, but still need to make a pit stop as car number 139 of Turney has received a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's a stop and go penalty, and that's pretty much race over for them, I would assume. So top 3 still need to make a pit stop. Taylor, BX Royal and Popov, all 3 of them needing to make a pit stop. So it is effectively Gr3 who is leading this race from Lojak behind. Only 3.2 seconds. So Lojak has closed in the gap by around half a second. It's not much, but maybe towards the end of the race that half a second could become very, very crucial. Meanwhile, behind it is Hockhausen, who may have lost out on a position to Weatherston now, as Weatherston is quite far up the road, but Morrow and Hockhausen being very close, as well as these two, Paris and Falcinelli, being oh so close between the two of them. Still, after coming out of the pit lane, these two have been just glue to each other's bumpers. But where can you pass? The Nürburgring GP layout isn't really known for its overtaking opportunity. One overtaking opportunity is right here into the chicane. If you have a decent overspeed, you can make a move stick, but it needs to be a very convincing move. Otherwise, you may end up in the gravel as well as your competitor. You can just see how much the Porsche is closing in under brakes on the Ford. Ford more used to straight line speed than anything else, and through this section of the track it's really hurting them. As now, is there a run for Falcinelli down into turn number 5? Not quite. They were looking, but no space was given to them to send it. Turney has completed now the stop and go penalty right on the first time round, so that's no more issue for them. Only a tenth between the two of them as they head through the Schumacher S's. You must expect a move or dive bomb or something from Falcinelli behind at a point in the race, as both Hockhausen and Morrow are going at it very closely together, as they are also just up ahead. You can see them there going side by side through the chicane. As this Hockhausen, who needs to concede the position to Morrow in the Lamborghini. Still, these two are so close to one another. Fitterer also meanwhile has silently joined the party. You can see how close it is. P4 all the way up to P9 is within a couple of seconds of one another. It is so very close between everyone, and you can just see how close the front bumper of Falcinelli is to the rear bumper of Paris. There's nothing in between it. As Omoda makes the final pit stop, their mandatory pit stop. Ooh, as that is a bit of a wide moment from Paris. Come on, Porsche, send it down at the hairpin, not quite. Paris defends it nicely. And that's another overtaking opportunity possibly gone, as Hockhausen ahead has been overtaken now by Taylor as well. Hockhausen just seemingly falling off a cliff after starting so high up. Just maybe a mismanagement of tires, as I believe the server... Oh, not quite. What has happened? I hope that was just a stuttering on my end and not someone else having a DC, because that would be not so nice. It does look like there was a DC. No, there wasn't. Alright, luckily for us there was no DC to speak of. As we nearly see that Paris is putting defense into attack, trying now to attack their maybe so-called fourth teammate, who is behind. Was a bit close between the Porsche of Falcinelli. Oh, and there's even more contact between the two Fords this time. Luckily, no major incident. I think they can all continue on. No real damage being done there, but it is something to be wary of, as this shows you how much they are willing to put on the table to gain that one illustrious position. So with 15 minutes left on the clock, it is Kurtz who is leading overall by 5 seconds over Lojek, who is also leading, but this time in silver class, by quite a long shot. Then we have Weatherston, Morrow, Taylor, Hockhausen, Paris, Falcinelli, Fitterer, and then Martinelli, the second place car in silver class, with Callion in third place in silver class. Then for bronze class we have Caraballo ahead of O'Leary and Black, making up that podium for bronze. So back to the racing action then. Like I said, 15 minutes remaining. That would equate to 7 or 8 laps, depending on something like a move. Not really the flow I was hoping for with that sentence, but anyway, Fitterer tried to go for a move on Falcinelli. Falcinelli making a very good cut back move to defend the position and retain that 8th place from Fitterer. But look at this, guys. 4 cars so close with one another, 1 second in between the 4 of them. As I'm sure we will see more of this battle very soon. We will try to keep an eye on it. As of right now, looking through the rest of the grid, there are battles being fought left, right and center, including now actually with the guys that we were just talking about. Falcinelli now conceding to Fitterer at the hairpin. as this is just so close between one another. This just shows you the sportsmanship between the drivers is, or the respect I should say, is very, very good. It is great to see that they have been driving like this without any major incidents. But it is drawing in the likes of Martinelli as well, as Hockhausen is nearly pushed around the final corner. Just holding up everyone behind as they go in quite deep into turn number 1. That will probably lose them a position to Paris as they run side by side through turn number 3, leaving space on the exit, just barely enough space there, as they are going 2 by 2 behind. But somehow still Hockhausen holds that 6th place from Paris and Fitterer, with Fitterer also at one point looking to attack Paris. But right now it is still Hockhausen who holds, or is the leader of this train. As they do go wide now, is this the option, the opportunity for Paris to make a move, but not quite. It is on the outside line into the Schumacher S's. It's not the ideal line for sure. As they're going 3 wide, and there is some contact, there is some incident with Paris and Facinelli now in the middle of it, and there's more contact with Fitterer in the BMW being pushed out wide now. Martinelli in the Ferrari coming through. It is 3 wide as we head towards the chicane. Cabras also joining into the mix. It is a crazy fight. And I think the biggest loser out of all of that is actually Fitterer, who has lost out on 2 places. As Martinelli now going wide as well. And dropping down a couple of spots as well. So crazy stuff has happened there, and somehow it has all calmed down as well. Whew. They got me on the edge of my seat right now, and it's still 10 minutes to go as Hockhausen again goes in deep into the turn number 1. Brakes or tires more likely are going off with the relentless pressure from behind. They must cave in at some point. Whether or not that will be before or after the checkered flag, we do not know yet. Up ahead is black in the BMW, and they are or will get some blue flags in just a moment's time. They are just out of 1 second, so no blue flags as of yet. But it won't be long before that will happen. Then I need to find a good spot to let them by, because there are at least 3 cars coming up in quick succession. Hockhausen, Paris and Falcinelli, with Fitterer now falling a little bit behind with Cabras and Martinelli and Scanlon. And there you can see blue flags being waved, as that was a bit of a move from Falcinelli on Fitterer. Fitterer isn't happy, flashing the lights as they press on. They're black, trying to get out of the way, move over the blue flags, and they did so very nicely. So props to them for doing that, keeping this battle alive without any interference from outside forces. It will be 5 more laps, including this one. So 10 more minutes of this racing action. And it is oh so close. Let's quickly see what's further going on. Cabras in the other Porsche in this battle, being very close to the back of Fitterer, as there is... Oh, was that deep from Fitterer? That was very deep from Fitterer. going into turn number 4, and that will cost them quite a lot of time. As for 4th place, it is very close between Morrow and Taylor. 3/10 in between the Lamborghini and the Porsche. And I think the top 2 have jacked out. Maybe even Weatherston, currently in P3, is from P4 downwards that we don't know. Omoda being yellow flag at the exit of the chicane. And they are rejoining right there. You could quickly see that in the background. So right now Bayliss will be spectator or very close spectating this whole battle behind. They are getting blue flags, so they know that quick cars are coming, and excuse me. Oh, they go in deep to let the other guys go past. And it is Facinelli, Cabras and Martinelli, with Paris actually dropping down a handful of places. I'm interested to know what happened to them. Scanlon also close to the back then. Hawkhausen and BX Royal also fighting it out. Ferrari versus Ford one time more. We already saw it at Le Mans, now we are seeing it at Nürburgring. Space is given. The inside line is given to BX Royal, who currently is alongside as they head into the hairpin. Interestingly, that BX Royal didn't stick to the inside line. I would think that that would be the most optimal line to go for an overtake there on Hockhausen. And it is also close between the two of them. Oh, and that was a mistake from BX Royal, just clipping the grass on the rear left tire. And doing very well at catching that slide. But most understandably losing around a second of time. And yeah, that will not do them any favors in the long run. It seems to have calmed down a little bit between this fighting. Taylor still very close to the back of Morrow. Oh, and there was a half-hearted look there into turn number 6. 1/10 in between them, less than 1 car length in separation. Is there a move up the inside? Not quite. Doesn't seem like the inside line is doing any favors around the whole track, really. Losing a little bit of time on the exit of the Schumacher S's there, Taylor. Not getting the greatest of runs through there. Getting caught up on the curb. Two more laps once they cross the finish line. Still all to play for. Same for these two. Still 2 more laps to go. Oh, as Bayliss goes in very deep into turn number... I don't know the number, actually, sorry. I will study more for the next race, don't worry. As that appears that Scanlon has taken a very interesting line through the final chicane. I would have expected actually to see at least one drive through for track limits, but so far it has been clean. And at this point it has calmed down quite a lot. Carlos actually now very close to the back of the other Porsche. You can just hear Tyre screaming for Falcinelli. Trying to get everything out of these tires. Leader is on the final lap. That means only one thing. One more lap to go after this one. It leaves him with around 3 minutes of race time left. A little bit less than that to make a move. To catch up is one thing. To make a move stick is a whole nother move. Whole other thing. Are they close enough to go for a cent? They are switching to the inside line, but not going for the move. Thinking better of it. Their chance will probably come somewhere later on in the lap. As Taylor has made it past Morrow. Sorry, we couldn't see that overtake happening. But just know that it did happen. And Taylor now on the final lap only needs half a lap to defend from the Lamborghini behind. And they are on for a very nice P4 to start off this season. But this opening round of the season can go to no other than good. Going to the final corner right now, leading from lights to flag. It is a very dominant showing of performance in the first round. Goods wins the opening round of season number 8. Lojak will follow in behind. Very nicely done. Winning silver class as well, slotting in P2 overall. And then it will be Weatherston who comes across the line to take P3. With Taylor just eking out over Morrow, taking P4 and then P5. And Falcinelli will take P6 in the opening round, just followed by Cabras and Martinelli to take home P7 and 8. Then we have Fitterer, if I can find them. This is such a stupid system. Fitterer there, crossing the finish line in P9. And Scanlon probably then in P10. It's a bit of a mess all round. Hoghausen will finish in P13. Not really making the early stop work by the looks of it. Had really strong pace to begin with, but yeah, just fell off in the midpoint. Did well after serving the penalty early on in the race. will come home in 17th place. Now we only have a couple of guys left running, including Azoyan, who is all over the road. And now the race is finished. So it is Gertz who wins it by nearly 7 seconds over Logic. Then Weatherston, Taylor, Morrow, Valcinelli, Cabras, Martinelli, Fitterer and Paris make up the top 10, with Logic taking the victory in silver class and Caraballo taking the victory in bronze class. So I will quickly look to see if there are any drivers who are wanting to get a post-race interview. Of course, we should invite our race winner, Gertz. Let's see, I have forgotten what the driver names are. Ah, there you go. I will invite you to the party. And of course you are appearing in offline, so I need to scroll down quite a long way. There you go, I will invite you. I don't know, LoJack is on Xbox, so that will not happen tonight. Caraballo is on PlayStation. As we do have someone else who would like to have a chat. It is Jensen. And there they are. Very welcome there, Jensen. So, tell me, first race of the season, what was going through your mind throughout the race? Yeah, I believe you did. You were leading at one point in the race. So, what was your strategy call then? Just go in, splash and dash, go out again? Yeah, unfortunately we just missed your overtake, but we did see that you were very close, and in the end did manage to overtake Morrow. So very well, and on the podium as well for the gold class category. Just missing out on the overall podium by just over 4 seconds. But hey, it's the first race of the season. Anything can still happen. It is. Is there one particular race you're really looking forward to?
Green light. Give it all you can.
Yeah. All right. We will keep you to that, and we will see that in 3 weeks' time when we head to Kyalami, and then the week after. No, 2 weeks after actually. At Alton, we will see how well you will fare. Yes, let's hope that you will do fine at your home track. Anyway, congratulations on the class podium, and good luck for the remainder of the season. So that was just Taylor speaking to us uh, after getting the podium in the gold class and also in P4 overall. Very nicely done. Don't think there are any other drivers who are wanting to step into the com box. So I think I will close it out for tonight. I hope you all enjoyed it. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope to see you next week for the race at Misano. Until then, have a good one. See you then. Bye bye.